Welcome back to the Author Entrepreneur Collective, where we help nonfiction authors and entrepreneurs turn their expertise into income, impact, and freedom. I'm your host, Stacey Matson, author of Bucket List Living and founder of Bucket List Unlimited. Today's guest is KJ Blattenbauer, founder of Hearsay PR and author of Pitchworthy. KJ, please share a little bit about yourself and your book and your business.
Sure. My name is KJ Blattenbauer. Like you mentioned, I've done public relations and worked in visibility and authority fields for the last 3 decades. I love taking remarkable people and helping them become impossible to ignore. After spending that much time in the land of public relations, I wanted to help incredible founders, authors, and experts stop being overlooked. And so I literally wrote the book on DIY PR 101 called Pitchworthy because I want people to stop waiting to be discovered and I want them to start getting noticed for how great they are.
I love that. What inspired you to write it?
I think after nearly 30 years of public relations, it's just watching people get overlooked when their work is so good and seeing other less qualified people become household names. It's not because the less qualified people are any better, it's just because they're easier to understand. And I feel like the simple process of walking people through how I analyze clients, what I've learned over the years in the industry, just helps them get a clearer message so they can become known for what they're good at.
I love that. Yeah. Why do so many talented entrepreneurs and authors remain invisible despite having incredible expertise?
I think it's because the expertise doesn't market itself. We're taught if we write the book, it'll sell itself, right? If we do good work, the people will come. But most people assume that being good at what they do is enough, and it really isn't. The market rewards clarity, not complexity. And so if people can't explain what makes you different in one sentence, they won't recommend you, they can't refer you, they can't remember you, and they're not going to buy from you.
Yeah, that's true. In the book, you talk about becoming pitch worthy. What does that actually mean?
Pitchworthy isn't about writing a better media or even pitching the media. It's about becoming someone the media, conferences, audiences naturally want to feature because the perspective is timely, it's memorable, and it's relevant, right? It builds a reputation before you need it, before you need PR, before you need publicity, before you need to be marketing anything. That's pitchworthy, nailing your story, making it clear.
So, do you, for nonfiction authors, especially first time, do you would you suggest to them to start pitching before their book is even published?
Oh, 1,000%. I think you want to drive interest for your book, whether pre-sales are available or not. I think the first thing that you do is you set up a page that explains your book and it shows people 3 ways they can help you. They can promote it, they can sign up to buy the book early, or they can offer to be a part of your pre-sales team, however that looks for you. And I think you start talking about it. When my book came out in January, I started in October getting myself on podcasts, getting myself media interviews. You have to build the machine at least 60 to 90 days before your pub date. And then you also have to keep doing it after. The book launch and publish date isn't the starting line or the finish line. It's a point in time. You have to work up to it, hit it, and then work after. And I don't think the book world publishers prepare people for that when they're writing their books.
No, they don't. And I self-published and I had, a writing coach and a company that helped me with that. But I know a lot of self-published authors don't know a lot about that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. But even not even self, I think I know a lot of people who work with publishers, hybrid and otherwise. They think the publisher is going to sell the book for them. They're not. They're a publisher. They want the book published. And the day that book gets published, they're done. It's up to you. You have to sell your book. Just writing the book is the easy part, even though it's hard. But just writing the book is the easy part. Promoting the book, whole different ballgame.
I totally agree with that. What's the biggest misconception people have about PR and media exposure?
That you have to be famous to get started, that you have to have a certain number of followers, that you have to be ready per se. PR is basically teaching people how to think, talk, and feel about you or your book or your brand. You are training people the way you want to be described when you're not in the room, or the way you want to be like, oh my gosh, you have to read this book by blah, blah, blah. It's about so and so. You just want people to be able to say that sentence. And so you have to start working it into everyday language, your social, pitching the media, on your website. Everywhere you appear, the book appears. That phrase you want people to share should appear.
Okay, so you should create a phrase you think, well, this is why I'm asking you is you like, would it help for them to create a phrase that like an elevator pitch, right?
Yeah, like one
Okay.
sentence you can say in one breath about your book. Just that describes to people why they should read it and why they should read it right now. Like, oh, this is the greatest book about letting things go. Or you really need this book if you're struggling with how to run operations in your business, or if you're stuck and you can't shake creativity loose, you know? Mine is a DIY PR book for anyone from 0 to 6 or 7 figures. It's going to walk you through the ins and outs. Like, oh, you're starting a business, you need this DIY PR book. Oh, you need attention for your business, you need this book on visibility. Things like that are easy and simple for people to refer and remember. People aren't going to share your book or talk about it if they don't know how. If they have to think about how to describe you, it's too much work. They're not going to do it, even if it's the greatest book they've ever read.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. People need to be guided, I think. You say recognition isn't random, it's strategic. What do you mean by that?
I think the people who seem to get every opportunity aren't lucky people, right? Luck has nothing to do with it. They're consistent. They repeat the same message, they tell the same story, they have that one line, one breath nailed down, right? And they reinforce the same expertise over and over and over again until the market associates them with that one thing. Recognition is repetition with intention. That's clear. That's all it is.
I love that. I love that. What separates people who consistently get opportunities from those who struggle to gain traction?
People who get opportunities are easy to refer. People know how to describe them. They're clear. Everyone knows exactly what they do, who they help, and why they're different. You know, the market can't recommend what it can't explain. People aren't going to refer you if they don't know how to describe you.
Yeah, I agree with that. How important is storytelling in today's business environment?
Oh, more important than ever, especially with the dawning of AI. I think storytelling creates connection that we're all craving, especially in the trust recession we have going on. But positioning is going to create your opportunity too. So the best stories reinforce expertise instead of replacing it. Your story should answer why you care, not it shouldn't distance or distract from what you're doing. It should answer why you care, and it should form a connection with your reader or your target audience.
So, and also, correct me if I'm wrong, but stories like differentiate you from AI, right? Because no one has your stories.
Right, right. And AI is garbage in, garbage out,
Yeah.
right? It's all boiling down from the same algorithm. So what you put in is what you get out. And it might be the greatest story ever, but I can guarantee you the 6 other people using AI are not having the same great story go in. So it produces the same output. We can all answer like, tell me a story about a dog, and we can all get something that's pretty similar from AI. And it's going to be basic, and it's going to be boring, and it's going to be very beige, and it's going to be the oatmeal of storytelling. So the secret sauce that makes you human is what makes you great author. It's what makes for a great book, right? None of us want to read something written by a robot. It's just kind of dull.
I agree. How important, no, for authors specifically, what makes a book media worthy?
I think the book itself is rarely the story. I think it's the conversation around the book that's the story, and that's what makes it media worthy, right? The media wants trends, they want insight, they want a little bit of controversy or some tension, not like a TED level trauma talk, but just like, like, ooh, that's, spicy. Solutions and a fresh perspective. I think that serves their audience. The media is not going to give you a commercial for your book. They don't want the marketing speak. They don't want what's on your back cover or in your Amazon listing. They want trends and insights and solutions. They want to know why it matters for their viewers right now. So, like a timely thing. What's going on in the world? What's going on in the environment? How can you be helping people? That sort of thing.
So, would you suggest, like, for authors who want to like build businesses around their books, would
Mhm.
you suggest that they build the business first or the book first, and how should they market them like together?
I think with anything, you have to have somewhere to direct people. So if the book comes first, it's kind of chicken and the egg. If the book comes first, is the business ready to go? Or are you going to sell a bunch of books and then be like, oh, just wait for the business? Or are you going to have the business website up so when the book is done, it drops them off at the business? If you already have the business established and then you write the book, how are you going to incorporate the book into your business? I think it's looking at what you have established, what your goals are, and what are easiest. For me, I think the easiest thing is to have the business established and then use your book as an asset to leverage why you are the expert in what your business does. It's kind of like a calling card or another asset like SEO or social media that shows people I'm the expert, here's what I can do, and here's literally physical proof. I wrote the book on it.
Yeah, I love that. And for me, I wrote the book for my business because I was like, people throw away business cards, right? Like people
Mhm.
don't usually throw away books.
I mean, we hope not, right? Like we hope not. They might, but we hope they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think in the sea of the coaching industry, huge, in the sea of coaches, anyone can call themselves a coach. You don't really have to be certified. There's the phrase, those who can't do teach. But also, if you write the book on it, you've separated yourself from all the people who aren't able to write a book. And if you've written a book and they're all written by AI and you're the one coach that doesn't, you've separated yourself from those. So even if you're in a sea of a profession where there's a sea of people who have written books, your book can differentiate itself because it has your unique point of view. And I think that's often overlooked too, right? Write the book so you stand out in your industry. If your industry already has people writing the book, write the book that makes you stand out in the industry of books. Because I'm not saying you have to have hot takes. I'm not saying you have to be a contrarian, but all of us have our unique voice. And with AI coming into things, it's so easy to be running on empty, throw some things in AI, have it generate the content. It all sounds the same. No one's hiring people because they sound like the next 10 other coaches or something you saw a coach with a high following have or any of those things. They're looking for unique perspective, someone who gets it and someone who's speaking directly to them. The best thing anyone can do for their book, have your unique perspective and say it with confidence. Here's what I believe. Here's why I wrote the book. Here's why you need it. That's a marketing plan.
Nice. What are journalists really looking for when evaluating a story?
Oh, they want to know why would my audience care? Why does anyone care? They're looking for relevance, novelty, expertise, someone who can make complicated ideas simple and entertaining. It's not rocket science. Why does their audience care? That's literally it.
Yeah. Do you suggest, because I know a lot of books have like frameworks and that kind of thing. Do you think like every book needs a framework or it just kind of depends on the audience?
I think it depends on the audience and what you want to do. There's a very clear framework in Pitchworthy. It walks you through step by step how to build a PR plan, how to be strategic. My next book that I'm writing right now, absolutely no framework. I want to change how people are thinking. I want them to have aha moments. I want them to see visibility different than the world is trying to teach them how to show up for things. I've had pushback where they're like, you need to add a framework. No, you don't. You can do whatever you want to in your book that you want to do, as long as it makes sense to you and your target audience and the reader. What is your goal with the book? Let it flow from there.
Yeah, I agree that there should be a goal to begin with, for sure.
Right. Right.
How can someone identify the unique angle that makes them stand out?
I think it's you look at where your experience intersects with current conversations, right? The magic isn't your resume, it's your perspective. You have to ask yourself, what do I believe that most people in my industry are getting wrong? Or what are the questions everyone in my target audience is asking right now that no one is answering? Those are the two easiest way to separate yourself from everyone and make yourself unique.
That's perfect. Many of our listeners are nonfiction authors. They've written a book but aren't seeing sales. What's the first visibility mistake they're making?
They're treating their book as a product and instead of a platform, right? Look, we're not all J.K. Rowling. We're not all writing books to get rich. The book is an asset to leverage, just like your website, just like social media, just like SEO. It's part of the wheel to promote you. The book should open doors to speaking, consulting, partnerships, media, and premium opportunities or high ticket clients. It's the beginning of a conversation. It is not the end or the end goal. And I think people will hate that for me, but you have to treat your book not like a product. It is, or like a product, not the platform. It is one thing to help of the many things to promote yourself.
Agreed. Can a first-time author realistically earn media attention without a publicist?
Oh, absolutely. A publicist, waste of time and money. A compelling idea beats a famous name every day. If your angle's timely and valuable, you can absolutely earn attention from the media on your own. You just need to follow those simple steps. Why is it relevant? Why is it relevant to the media's audience? And then you just put together a pitch and send it to them. And a pitch isn't rocket science. It's literally one or two sentences about, hello, so and so at the media, whatever your hot take is of that day or whatever makes you unique or your unique proposition, why it applies to their audience right now, why they have to cover it this week on their news segment or in their newsletter or on their pages, wherever it may be that you're pitching, and then be like, I literally wrote the book on that. Link to your book. Here's what I think we could talk about that would be interesting for your people. 3 bullet points. Your contact information, send. It truly is that simple. It's not complicated. And you don't need a publicist. Are they helpful if you don't have time or you don't want to do it? Yes. Should it be a barrier that you can't hire a publicist? No, you can do it yourself. I literally wrote the book on it.
And I love your book. I love the exercises in it.
Thank you.
When you work with clients, how important is it to have the right infrastructure behind the visibility, things like website, lead magnet, email list, speaking opportunities, or funnels to capture attention?
Oh, it's extremely important, right? It's like anything else. You're not going to send people to your website if it's not live or if links are broken. You have to have the foundation in place. The worst thing you can do is get media attention or start pitching yourself and not have your house in order. Before I work with anyone or if anyone asks for advice, I say, is your house in order? And by that I mean, do you know what you want to be known for? Do you have your one sentence, one breath down? If I Googled you tomorrow, would that show up every single place I found you? Would your headshots and images all match? Would your branding be on point? Nothing would be different because the one thing you can't have is when someone Googles you to see if you're legit or you know what you're talking about or you even have a presence. If one thing is off, you have lost people's trust. All you have to do is make things uniform across the board. And it sounds like a lot of work, but it's 15-minute exercise every couple of months to just make sure your things are updated and your links are working. So I'm all for having infrastructure ready to go and your operations nailed down before you start putting yourself out there.
Yeah, I just found that the other day because I do things like build websites and stuff for authors, but I just did the whole, check my own websites and stuff, or not websites, but social media the other day. I'm like, oh, this link needs to be updated. So it's very important for that to happen for sure.
Yep, yep. Nothing is more frustrating for people than broken links. And if they see more than one broken link, they're going to be like, if this person can't even get their own things down, how are they going to get things down for me?
Right. Yeah. What are some PR opportunities authors overlook?
Oh, podcasts. Podcasts are huge, easy lift, great way to reach listeners. Also, they're probably already reading audiobooks. A podcast is just really a short audiobook. I think there's trade publications, there's guest articles, industry conferences, association newsletters. I mean, LinkedIn Lives are great. I'm actually doing one tomorrow. Local television, and then I think corporate webinars. But everyone chases like national TV and they want to hit the bestsellers list and they want to be in the New York Times and they think they need a billboard. They're ignoring the places where audience are most likely to buy. You only need to be the places your target audience is reading, watching, or listening to. And I don't think enough people realize that. You don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be where your people are. And maybe they're only in one place. When I did my book promo tour, I only did podcasts and it worked out fantastically for me. It's the easiest lift. You just have to show up, record, then you're done. The person hosting the podcast has to do all of the work, right? Like you're just the talent and then you bounce, say thank you. But you don't have to show up for TV, you don't have to be makeup ready, you don't have to really worry about your whole outfit. Like you could be business up top and sweatpants on the bottom, but you get to share your story. And the great thing about podcasts is this might air once right away, but 5 years from now, or as long as you leave your podcast archives up, people could be discovering it, ordering the book. It could have a resurgence. I'm a huge fan of podcasts.
Nice. I love podcasts too. And it took me a while to like podcasts because I don't usually like pay attention long enough to listen to podcasts. But now that I've like discovered them and have my own, obviously, I love them because they can teach you so much.
Yep, yep, yep. It's evergreen content, right? One
Yeah.
podcast can also become social clips, a newsletter, LinkedIn post, blog articles, right? You can make reels from it and speaker materials. There's even sales content. Like you're building an ecosystem. You're not just checking one publicity box. That's why I love podcasts.
Yeah. What role does thought leadership play in growing a business today?
I think people buy confidence before they buy competence. So, thought leadership demonstrates how you think. It builds trust faster than almost anything else. People want to know, like, and trust you. That's when they buy from you. They have to know, like, and trust you. So, I mean, that's what the whole basis of thought leadership. You have to demonstrate how you think for people to want to be anywhere near you.
I agree. How do you recommend turning media appearances into actual business growth rather than just vanity metrics?
You have to have somewhere for people to go, right? Capture emails, offer a resource, book a discovery call, invite them to your newsletter, right? They already like you. You've written a book. Invite them to your newsletter. I think visibility without infrastructure, like we talked about earlier, it's just rented attention. It's a spike that goes nowhere. You have to have somewhere to send people.
Agreed. So you created the workbook too, which is excellent. Why did you feel the workbook was necessary?
Because everyone was asking for it, to be perfectly honest. On the book tour, every single person was asking for it. But I also think that clarity comes from doing, right? Reading is inspiration, but implementation is what creates the transformation, right? So we've all read things or heard things in an audiobook and been like, oh my gosh, I have to remember that. I have to write that down. I have to know that. The workbook creates that implementation for people to really feel like they're going to transform their lives. They can apply something.
Yeah, I love that. What exercises from the workbook create the biggest breakthroughs for readers?
Oh, the positioning exercises. Far away, the positioning exercises. When people finally articulate what they want to be known for, everything else, content, media, speaking, marketing, pitching, talking to other people and networking, it gets easier because you have your one sentence that you can say in that one breath. You can describe yourself and you can teach others how to describe you. The work starts working for itself.
Right. If someone only completed one exercise from the workbook this week, which one would you recommend and why?
There's an exercise in the workbook that forces you to answer, what do I want people to immediately think of when they hear my name? And I think that's the foundation for every visibility strategy, no matter what you want to do. Write books, have conferences, speak on stages. What do I want people to immediately think of when they hear my name? I want people to immediately think, oh, KJ Blattenbauer, she helps remarkable people become impossible to ignore. That's what I'm training my audience on.
So I have a question. So my business is Bucket List Unlimited, and obviously my name. Do you suggest people brand their name or their business, or like kind of try to combine both, and how to do that?
Well, it depends on what the goal is, right? Like, there's, do you want the business to speak for itself? And do you have goals to have the business grow the business, have an extra exit strategy when someone else buys your business? Well, then obviously you're going to want to have a business name, right? Do you have goals of becoming the next Sarah Blakely, where you sell off a business, but you're the persona, you're the person, you want to speak on stages, you want to be Mel Robbins? Then you want to have your name. But you just have to know that everything's tied to you and you can't sell you. You can maybe do IP stuff and spin it off there. You have to know what your end goal is. And you can have both. You can be the person where I'm KJ Blattenbauer and I'm the thought leadership and the authority driving the machine. And then my business, Hearsay PR, is basically the operations engine that's doing work on the back end. One I can grow big and spin off. Me, I'm going to keep my name forever, hopefully. So it just depends on what your goal is. And it's very, very specific. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. Some people will tell you that there are. It really just depends on what you want to do.
Okay. What are the biggest aha moments people experience when working through the exercises?
Oh, the biggest one I get is they don't have a visibility problem. It's their messaging. Their messaging is terrible. Every single person I work with in the last 14 years has been like, "Oh, my messaging's good. I know what I'm saying." No, you don't. If you did, you wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking, right? You're not getting press. You're not getting speaking opportunities. You're not selling books. People aren't booking your services. They don't know what you do. They might like you, but they can't describe what you do. Or they might not know. They might be around you every single day and be like, I don't know what I'm even hiring you for. I don't know what that person does. She's amazing. I can think of 16 people in a marketing group I'm in right now. Love them. I have no idea what they do. I think it's one thing. It could be another thing. They're great people. I want them to have business. I love referring people. I don't know how to refer those people out. And so most people don't realize that they have a messaging problem. They're already known. They're known for the wrong thing, or they're known for what they don't want to be, or they're known for what they used to do instead of what they want to be doing now. And I think that, especially for an author, if you're known for something, but you wrote a book on something else, that gap is going to be a killer for you when you're trying to promote the book or sell it.
That's very good to know. We talk a lot about turning books into businesses. How does visibility contribute to revenue?
Visibility creates awareness. And then I think the recognition created from that awareness is going to give you demand. So, revenue and book sales are going to happen when people trust you enough to choose you before your competitors. You got to be visible to create some awareness, but you have to have the right message so people can recognize, oh, this person I'm seeing everywhere is known for X, and they have the book on this. Okay, they have to make the connection. It goes back to the one sentence, and can people refer me? Can they connect me? That's how people are going to trust you enough to choose you before your competition and choose your book off another instead of another one on the shelf.
Nice. How can entrepreneurs leverage media coverage to create speaking opportunities?
I think they have to worry less about collecting all the logos and worry more about packaging their credibility. Add media to your speaker page, your proposals, your bio, your introductions, so organizations see that third-party validation before they ever meet you, but also take a step back. There are a lot of places that my ego wants me to be, on the cover of or featured in all over the place. Would we all want a billboard in Times Square? Yeah, we all do. But you want to earn that billboard in Times Square. You don't want to pay for that billboard in Times Square. And if we're being perfectly honest right now, I'm going to get crucified for this. If we're being perfectly honest right now, that billboard in Times Square is not doing a single thing for you, and it will not grow your authority, and you are wasting your time, your energy, and your money. Your people aren't hanging out in Times Square being like, hey, who's on that billboard? And outside of one post on social media, that billboard, not going to do anything for you authority wise. You need to show up where your people are reading, where they're watching, what they're listening to. Nothing else matters. Sure, if your ego wants to pay for that Times Square billboard, have at it. Salute you. I will like that when you post it on social media. You will sell zero books. I'm just going to tell you the return on investment, it's not going to be there. It might feel good, it might feed your ego. What your people are reading, watching, or listening to, that's the only place you have to show up.
And to me, like your name on a billboard, it's all about you, right? It's all about you and your ego. Like people buy from um, people that can help them. So
Hmm.
there has to be some something on the back end for them, right, to be interested.
Right. Right. You don't want to just be famous to be famous. I mean, some people do. It's called reality TV. Go try that out. You don't want to be famous to be famous. Most of us write books because it comes from a place of service. We want to be helpful. When you're marketing, when you're promoting, you have to be like, okay, how can I be helpful? What part of this book is about service? What message do I want to show up and serve with? How can I keep teaching from the book? How can I tease them with information so they want to come back and read the rest of the book? It's thinking about it at that simple level. I think too often we're like, I need to be a bestseller. I need to be on the New York Times bestseller. I need to sell this many books. I need to worry about this. I need to get speaking from. Put the cart before the horse. You're coming from a place of service. What are the questions people normally ask you? Put that out there to promote your book. What are the parts of the book you're the most proud of that is most helpful for people? Leak those tidbits of the book. Share that as your lead magnet, like one chapter as your lead magnet to draw people in. People worry too hard about the perfect way to promote the book. You just promote the book. Just start.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I just interviewed an author a few weeks ago, and he created like his own like Facebook group, the public Facebook group, and then he puts like prompts in there and stuff for people to interact and that kind of thing. So I think that's a helpful opportunity as well.
Yeah.
How
It's a great.
can how can visibility help attract partnerships, clients, and referrals?
People want to partner with people who already have momentum, right? Visibility creates familiarity, and familiarity is going to reduce the risk, right? You don't want to just partner with someone who's a loose cannon or you don't know about or you don't know if they know their things. You want to partner with people who already have something going on for them. And the easier you are to understand, the easier it is for people to recommend you and want to work with you.
Yeah. What's one thing every entrepreneur should do this month to increase their visibility?
Pick the one idea you want to be known for and publish about it every week for the next 6 months. Consistency of your message in bite-sized chunks that people can repeat as you train them how to talk about you is going to beat going viral a million times over.
I love that. That's very good advice.
Thank you.
Best publicity advice you've ever received.
Don't chase attention, earn authority.
Biggest PR mistake entrepreneurs make.
Oh my gosh, talking about themselves or using marketing speak instead of serving their audience.
Nice. One media outlet you'd love to be featured in.
Ah. I feel like I should say, because we are on a podcast about authors, I feel like I should say the New York Times. But if I'm being honest with you, I'd rather become someone's automatic recommendation than connect another media logo. I want to be when someone is on a podcast like this and they're like, "What book have you read lately? That's amazing." I want someone to recommend my book. I don't think I need another media logo at this point. I want people to really connect with what I'm writing and be like, oh, this. I want Sally down the street who's never met me to be like, oh my God, have you read this book? And I want to be like, Sally, I wrote that book.
That's awesome. A book every entrepreneur should read besides your own, obviously.
Um, oh, The World Needs Your Art. And it's by Amy McNee. And it's amazing, especially if you are in like a creative slump or you need some inspiration. And it's extra bonus points if you get the audiobook because she is Australian or from New Zealand and it's an amazing accent. And it's just, she's so like, what are you doing? It just kind of shakes you in a tough love way, but it's that voice. Like you'll feel like the Kool-Aid man, like you can go through a wall afterward.
I love that. I'll need to check that one out because I love Australian accents too.
Mhm.
What does living a successful life mean to you?
Oh, I get to choose what I want to do, when I want to do it, and who I do it with every single day of my life. And get to create opportunities for other people doing that. And that's success.
That's awesome. Where can people connect with you?
They can find me at hearsaypr.com or on Instagram and LinkedIn at KJ Blattenbauer.
And where can they get your book Pitchworthy and
Both the pink book, the book, and the white book, the workbook are available on Amazon.com or anywhere books are sold.
what's next for you in Hearsay PR?
There's a lot of changes going on at Hearsay PR this summer. I'm getting ready to publish another book. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a 1 hour read called Impossible to Ignore, and it's definitely going to challenge traditional thinking on visibility and vanity and what really creates authority. But I'm going to continue helping founders and experts become known for something specific through messaging, positioning, and I'm all about strategic recognition. So my next big focus is just expanding that work through some speaking gigs, the upcoming book. I have a wonderful retreat planned for later this year, and I'm really excited about that.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, KJ. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close out today?
I want people to know that visibility should feed an ecosystem. Have a website that converts, a lead magnet that builds your audience, content that reinforces your expertise or what you have in your book, and offer a solution to a problem for your reader. Attention is very, very expensive. Don't waste it by sending people absolutely nowhere. Have a system to capture them in every single thing you do that drives them back to purchasing your book.
I love that. Thank you
Thank,
so much for being a guest today. I appreciate you.
thank
If
you for
you're an
having me.
author, oh yeah, you're welcome. If you're an author, coach, consultant, or entrepreneur who knows you should be more visible but aren't sure where to start, I highly recommend checking out KJ's book, Pitchworthy, and the accompanying workbook. And if you've written a nonfiction book and want help turning it into a business with funnels, lead magnets, email marketing, and revenue generating systems, visit bucketlistunlimited.com and you can also schedule a complimentary call with me. Until next time, remember your book isn't the business, it's the beginning of the business.